So, good morning all of you. So today we are starting with the certain previous year questions of the biological classification. Okay, and the first question that we are going to discuss, that says that there are two statements. Okay, and these two statements, if such kind of questions are given, so we have to find out that one statement that may be the correct. Okay, second statement that may also be correct, but there may be the case either the first statement or the second statement that may be incorrect, or there is a condition that both the statement they may be incorrect. Okay, so like that type of questions we have to be very careful about that. Okay, and one of the question that was there in the NEET, and we will discuss that here, and how to deal with that question. Okay, so this question says, what this question says, let us see this part. This question says that given below are two statements. Given below are two statements. What are those two statements? The statement number one says that mycoplasma can pass through. Statement number one. That says mycoplasma can pass through. Mycoplasma can pass through less than 1 micron filter size. Less than 1 micron filter size. And the second statement that is there in the question, it says that mycoplasma are bacteria with cell wall. Mycoplasma are bacteria with cell wall. Now they are asking that in the light of our statement, in the light of our statement, the statements, choose the most appropriate answer. Choose the most appropriate answer okay, from the options given below. And what are those options? Let us see them. So, the first option is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Option 1 or A, that says both statement 1, both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. The second one, they are saying what it says, both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Now, third option they are giving that statement 1 is correct. 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. And the fourth option is statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Now, tell me that what will be the condition over here? Yes, let us see what it says. Is this statement 1 is correct? Because we very well know that these are the smallest level things, and that's why we can say that they can pass through less than 1 micron. Okay? They can pass through less than 1 micron to be precise. But what about the statement number 2? What it says? It says that mycoplasma are bacteria with cell wall. Is there any cell wall that is present in mycoplasma? No. So in that case, what we can say that statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So what will be the correct answer? The C will be the correct answer. So C is what? C is the correct answer. So in such kind of statement type of question, what we have to identify? We have to identify both the statements. Okay? So this was one of the previous questions that was asked in the NEET. Okay? Now, let us see the second question that was there in the previous years. They are asking that which of the following is a correct statement? Which of the following is the correct statement? So when we are talking about the statement, let us see that what are those statements. The first statement, what it says? That says cyanobacteria are a group of autotrophic organisms. Cyanobacteria is a group of autotrophic organisms. Okay? Classified under the kingdom Monaca. Classified under the kingdom Monaca. Okay. Second statement: bacteria are exclusively heterotrophic organisms. Bacteria are exclusively heterotrophic organisms. The third statement is that is slime molds are saprophytic organisms. Slime molds are saprophytic organisms. Okay, under kingdom Monaca. Okay, and the fourth statement is mycoplasma have DNA, ribosomes, and a cell wall. So this is the question. Now here we have to find out the correct answer. What may be the correct answer? Which one may be the correct answer? Which one? A. Okay. So as per your opinion it is A. Okay. Answer is correct. That is A. But why it cannot be B? Let us find out that also, no? Because just directly saying that is also a very good thing that we are trying to find out the correct answer. Okay? But why it cannot be B? Bacteria are exclusively heterotrophic. Why it is incorrect? Because they are autotrophic also, and they are having heterotrophic nature also. So we cannot say only one thing. Thus, see, slime molds are saprophytic. They are saprophytic. But what is the incorrect thing in it? That is a monoda. They do not belong to the monoda, but they belong to what? They belong to protista. Okay? And the fourth one, mycoplasma had DNA, ribosome and a cell wall. So why this one is incorrect? Because of cell wall. Okay? Because these mycoplasma do not have any cell wall. Is that clear? So like that, we should go through all the options. Okay? Because the question which have asked already, generally the NEET is not asking that multiple times. But the same type of questions they may be. So we should go through all the options and try to find out, okay, what was the wrong in it. The same type of questions they may ask, okay. They can use the same options somewhere in other questions also. That may be correct there. Okay. So whenever we are preparing, so during the preparatory phase, what we should do? We should go through all the options, okay, so that we can enhance our knowledge about those options. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. The next question is asking which one of the following is not a criteria for classification of fungi. Which one of the following is not a criteria for classification of fungi. So let us see the options. The option A, morphology of mycelium. B, that is mode of nutrition. C is, that is mode of spore formation. And next option is, that is fruiting body. So what can be the answer? B. Okay. So this B is the correct answer, because form criteria of all these three things. Morphology of mycelium, I have already told you that what is the mycelium. Okay. What is mycelium? Group of hyphae, that is called as mycelium. And then mode of spore formation, what are the spores? Actually those, with the help of those spores, the reproduction occurs. Okay. And what are the fruiting bodies? On the fruiting bodies, actually fruiting body is the main body now. So like that, all these options, okay, they are means included for the classification of fungi. Only the mode of nutrition is not the criteria for the classification of fungi. Clear? Now, let us see the next question. It says, which of the following statement is correct? Which of the following statement is correct? Okay, so let us see that what are those statements about which we are going to talk. The first is, some of the organisms can fix. Some of the organisms can fix nitrogen in specialized cells. In specialized okay, called sheath cells. Second is, that is fusion of two cells. Fusion of two cells, okay, is called karyogamy. The next question, the next statement is, that is the fusion of protoplasms, fusion of protoplasms between two motile, or non-motile gametes, or non-motile gametes is called plasmogamy. And the D option or the D statement is organisms that depend on living plants are called saprophytes. So, which one is the correct answer? Oh, which one is the correct answer? C is the correct answer. Okay? Why A is not there? Let us see and find out that why A, B and D are incorrect. Okay? We should be aware about that, why they are incorrect. Okay? Some of the organisms can fix nitrogen in specialized soil called sheath cells. So where these sheath cells are found? Where these sheath cells are found? No. Actually, these sheath cells, they are found in the branch anatomy. Do you remember the branch anatomy? I think you have forgot about all those things. Okay? In that branch anatomy, what is happening? There are certain plants which are found in those areas where there is very hot areas, where the condition is like that less water is available. Okay? Like maize, you can take example of maize. So what they are doing that around the vascular bundle there is specialized cells. They are called as bundle sheath cells. Okay? And they prevent the exit of carbon dioxide. Okay? So in that regard, this sheath cells, they have been discussed over here. Okay? So they are helping the carbon dioxide fixation. Okay? Not the nitrogen fixation. Okay? So in that regard, this option is incorrect. At least you could come to know that where this sheath cells or bundle sheath cells are found. Okay? Second thing, fusion of two cells is called karyogamy. Okay? Fusion of two cells is called as karyogamy? No. Karyogamy is what? Fusion of nucleus, that is called as karyogamy. Then see, fusion of protoplasm between two motile or non-motile gametes is called as plasmogamy. You know very well that when two motile or non-motile gametes they are fusing together, so it is first of all what? That is the cytoplasm. Okay, that is fusion first of all. So that is known as plasmogamy. And why this D is not correct? You can see here, organisms that depend on living plants are called as saprophytes. But they are called as what? They are called as parasites. When any organism that is living on another organism, on living organism, that is called as what? Parasite. So like that, we should be aware about all the options. We know the correct, we should also be aware about the what is incorrect and why it is incorrect. Okay? So that other questions based on the same statement, If they are in any competitive exam, you can attend. Okay, so this is the thing. Now let's go to the next question. This question says, which of the following statements is incorrect? The statement is incorrect. So let us see the first statement. This first statement, it is saying that yeast have filamentous bodies. Yeast have filamentous bodies with long thread-like hyphae. Long thread-like long thread-like hyphae. Second is morels and truffles. Truffles are edible delicacies. The C statement that says claviceps is a source of many alkaloids, and LSD. And the fourth statement is that is conidia are produced exogenously and ascospores endogenously. So, what may be the correct answer? Sorry, they are asking about the incorrect thing. Okay, what may be the incorrect thing? And this specific point I have just mentioned many times that you have to be very careful when you are talking about the fungi. Yeast is the only fungi which is having, that is unicellular. That is unicellular. But what they are saying that yeast have filamentous bodies. Yeast are not having filamentous bodies. Yeast is having only, that is only a unicellular structure. So like that, this A is what? That is the correct option. Okay? But morels and truffles, we have already seen that they are edible delicacies. Claviceps, that is having that can produce the LSD. Do you know something about the LSD? Actually, LSDs are hallucinating agents. Okay? Just like the drugs, they are the hallucinating agents. Okay? And this is correct and conidia exogenously and ascospores endogenously. All these rest of the statements, they are what? They are correct statements. Okay? Now, we are moving to the next question. That next question, which among the following is not a proper verb? Which among the following is not a prokaryote. Is not a prokaryote. Okay, let us find out. First one is Saccharomyces. There is Mycobacterium. C option, that is Nostoc. And the option is what? That is a Oscillatoria. Yes. Which one is the correct answer? Which one is the correct answer? A is the correct answer because this is the scientific name of what? Yeast. Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so A is the correct option in this case. Okay, and we have already seen many rows of this Saccharomyces or yeast. So now you should be aware that this Saccharomyces or the yeast is very important. Okay, so question based on this thing, that either on the lecture of the unicellular or the multicellular or what they can use. Okay, that is very important. Okay, now let us move to the next question. Here we are going to see that select the wrong statement. Select the wrong statement. Okay, let us see what are the statement. Cell wall is present in members of fungi and plantae. Cell wall is present in members of fungi and plantae. In members of fungi and plantae. Is it correct? Is this statement correct? नहीं, correct क्यों नहीं है? We are asking select the wrong statement. This is correct statement because you know that cell wall is found in fungi as well as plantae. It is only the animals which do not have cell wall. Okay, and another is what? That is the mycoplasma. Okay, so we have to remember this thing. This is the correct statement. Okay. Again, that they are saying that the mushrooms belong to Bacillomycetes. Mushrooms belongs to Bacillomycetes. Is it correct? Is it correct? It is. Okay. Now, the pseudopodia are locomotory and feeding structures. Locomotory and feeding structures. Okay? In sporozoans. Is it correct? This is the correct answer because this statement is incorrect. And let us see the fourth statement also. So this fourth statement that says what? That the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell in all kingdoms except Monera. Okay, so this is also correct because in Monera, this is instead of mitochondria, then from where they are getting this energy? the bacteria, from where they are, how they are generating their energy. No, that is okay. But what is the organelle? Is there any kind of organelle or something that is formed? It is not organelle basically. Is there something or any structure that is happening in the production of this ATP energy? What is that? Huh? What? What is that? That is the mesosome. You have seen now that mesosome basically that happens in photosynthesis many times. Okay, by some modifications. Okay, and that also is happening in the production of ATP like that. Okay, so we have to remember that it is not the mitochondria that is working there in those prokaryotes like bacteria. Okay, so they are having their plasma membrane that get invaginated inside. Okay, so those invaginations basically they are working in the production of food material in the photosynthetic ones. Okay, and for the energy production also. Okay, so that we have to do. Now, question is, which of the following is correct? Which of the following is correct about viroids? Okay, the first statement, they have RNA with protein code. They have RNA with protein code. Is this correct? Do they have RNA with protein code? RNA with protein code, what it will become? That will become virus. Okay? Now, let us see the second statement. That says they have free RNA without protein code. They have free RNA without protein code. Okay? Is this correct? Is this correct? This is correct. Okay? Yes, if they are having only the genetic material, that is the RNA, then that will be known as what? Viroids. Okay? And then what about the prions? They are the proteins. Okay? Differentially folded proteins, only proteins, they are called as what? Prions. Okay? So that we have to remember. Plus, next statement is, they have DNA with protein code. They have DNA with protein code. So if DNA with the protein code is present, then what they will become? They will also become the viruses. Okay? And D, they have free DNA without a protein code. They have free DNA without a protein code. Generally, this condition is not possible. If the protein is free, generally you will see that they get denatured very well. Okay, and inside the cell, there may be certain free DNA particles. They are known as transposons. Okay, that is not the part of your syllabus. Okay, so later on in higher studies you will learn about those free DNA particles. Okay, but in environment they are not possible. Just like the RNA without protein code as the prions or those viroids. Okay. Now we move to the next part. There is a disease that is known as the mad cow disease. Okay, so let us discuss about that question. So mad cow disease in cattle. Mad cow disease in cattle is caused by an organism which has what it may be, the inert crystalline structure. Okay, is that inert crystalline structure? Is it possible any inert crystalline structure that can cause the mad cow disease? First of all, see the first word, inert. That means that is not infectious. And crystalline structure, that may be anything. Okay? If it is infectious crystalline structure, what it may be? That will be the virus. Okay? But it is inert crystalline structure. And you very well know that this mad cow disease, that is not caused by the inert or active crystalline structure of the viruses. Okay? Then the second option, that is the abnormally folded protein. Abnormally folded protein. Okay? Abnormally folded protein is what? Prions. And we have seen that these prions, they are responsible for what? Mad cow disease. Okay? So this B option is correct. But we have to see all the options. So C option says free RNA without protein code. Free RNA without protein code. So that will be what? That is what? Virions. Okay, so virions are not causing a mad cow disease. So this is incorrect. And the B option is free DNA without protein code. Free DNA without protein code. So this is not possible. Okay, so our option is what? That is the option D. Okay. Now, let's move to the next question. That says, which of the following statement is incorrect? Which of the following statements is incorrect? So let us see those. First one is prion consists of abnormally folded proteins. Second is virions lack a protein code. Okay. C is viruses are obligate parasites. And D is that is infective constituents. Infective constituents in viruses constituent. Constituent in viruses is the protein code. So What is the correct answer? That is, what is? D. We have already seen now that many experiments. Okay, so this D is correct because it is the genetic material that causes the infection. Okay, so this is the answer. And now these were some of the important questions. And here we have seen one very common things. And what is that common? That they are generally roaming around the structure, the diseases. Okay, that kind of questions have been asked from this chapter. Generally, now the trend is like that. And they are not asking means a very difficult question from this passage. So you have to stick on the basics, whatever the basic or the definitions that are given in the NCERT. Okay, so NCERT is going to be the key for this specific chapter. Okay, because all the important points that are itself there in the NCERT, because we have seen almost all the questions, they are there and their answers are there in the NCERTs. Okay, so thank you for today.